The sun's going down. You could call this the sunset fishing bite. I'm back here in Jersey, and I've been thinking about the way I want to come back and fish the waters that are, well, now I consider some of the most sacred places around me. All right, come on. Oh, this used to be the hot spot. There are always big bass chilling in this little pocket for some reason. Got him, fish on! You can't quite see it over the reeds that have dominated this side of the pond. You used to be able to cast out. This was all water, probably 5-6 years ago. And I came out here to this mystery pond you can't quite see with my buddy William the last 2 weeks of the summer going to 6th grade. We fished every single day, walked around the creeks, caught frogs and turtles and snakes, and caught fish too, some sunfish. That was when catching bass was the absolute prize. It felt like if you landed a bass, you already won the Bassmasters Classic. You were on your way to, I don't know what comes after the Bassmasters Classic, but you just completed your life if you caught a bass. So I came back out here tonight with my medium rod, with my ultralight. I never used to have an ultralight when I started fishing, believe it or not. Came out here with this gear, super simple setups, and I'm gonna show you kind of one of the techniques that I loved fishing when I was here, and that means getting to the creek. So there's a little creek that flows into this pond that makes it the fishery that it is, and there are tons of creek chub. The bass gorge on them. They're pretty much candy to the bass, and oh my goodness. Okay, so little fun story. Me and my buddy William, we were daring back in the days. We would walk out into this, way out, farther than you can see on the camera, into the middle of the lake, where we'd be waist deep in mud. Now there's a cool little area right here that I'm gonna try. This tree it always had this life to it. I call it, I'm gonna flash back to a clip 5 years ago, me catching bass out of here.
Hey guys, NJ Angler back here. Ooh, going. Nice fish. We're in about 3 feet of water here, the shallow side of the pond. I got him right there under the tree. There's a little weed pile right there, and then it drops off to like 4 feet.
It's crazy walking back through a pond that I fished about 10 years ago, and I keep saying 5 years. It's more like 10 years. It's crazy walking through areas that I usually would be able to walk to. Like the reeds in here got significantly greater, and it just shows the resilience of the ecosystems we have out here. If humans stop screwing it up, or I mean honestly, I don't think humans can quite screw it up, because nature will always return and come back stronger than it ever has been. Wow, just look at the untouched beauty right here. You have a habitat for the bumblebees. I know bumblebees are kind of on their way out. I don't think so, not from what I see. I think everything bounces back. Everything comes to be how it should and how it's meant to be. And it's the only place you can see it is out here. Now I'm back here in Jersey, I'm excited to fish more of my home waters. I haven't fished this pond in 5 years. Actual 5 years? Okay. So, check it. Creek spot number 1. Right now I'm gonna try to catch a creek chub that I'm gonna use for bait. And it's exciting. This technique I figured out just from catching creek chub in the creeks. That's how I kind of started out fishing, thinking that bass fishing was really hard. Once I started catching bass, I was like, you know what? These bass are feeding on the creek chub that I'm catching. And got a little power bait worm tied on, something you'd see me fish for trout with. And this water, I mean, I could catch a bass out of here. I could catch anything out of here. I know a lot of people fish here now. I wonder how easy it's gonna be to catch a little creek chub. I'm gonna try under the bridge. Under the bridge. Oh, there are a ton of creek chub in here. Okay. Oh, just missed them. All right, these creek chub are still just as prominent as they've always been. I should have brought a little bait bucket. Believe it or not, this power bait worm is still too big for the creek chub. Real downsize in the power bait worm. Hey guys, how's it going?
Any fish?
Nothing yet, believe it or not.
You're hopeful.
Yeah, I used to fish here all the time as a kid, so I came back.
So they say don't go back, don't they? Yeah.
No, I guess not. I'm seeing fish though, so I have hope. Have a good night. That guy said, they say things don't go back to how they were. I think they become better. Let's see. All a matter of perspective. Resorting to option 2, sending it. That bridge, everyone fishes there. And catching bait, I don't know, harder than expected. Not gonna lie to you guys. Down here though, ready? Got him, fish on. There we go. Oh, yes. Landed the creek chub that we've been looking for. Now I gotta run him back over to the pond. Just gotta stay persistent, stay positive. It'll all work out perfectly. Oh man, okay. Check it out. This little creek chub right here is exactly what I've been talking about. These are the bait fish that dominate this stream. Now I'm gonna take this thing quickly as possible back over to the lake and use it for bait. Wait, we gotta run him. It took a while to catch that creek chub. Met those people who walked by, and the one guy was saying, you know, sometimes just things don't go back to how they once were. But I heard the little kid say, Dad, I wonder what the park looked like before the trail. I thought that was cool. I thought that was pretty deep. We're gonna show you guys what this place will always be. Here, another look at the pond. No more than, I'd say like an acre, 3 acres. You guys let me know. So I just want to show you guys how I have this thing rigged up. So I had the little treble hook and I stuck it through twice on the back fin. All right, let's check if the bait fish is still on my line. Yep, oh he is. He is. Oh, he's just kind of dead drifting now though. Snapping turtle's coming for him. Gotta get the fish out of the way. Oh no. Oh, I forgot how many freaking snapping turtles there are in here. It might turn out to be a hand feeding snapping turtles video. It really might be, if this guy doesn't make it. Okay, hopefully over here, where we have more current and the deepest part of the pond, this is where we're gonna find a bass. And if I'm not mistaken, they can't resist a bait fish like this. Hello.
Hey.
How's it, any luck?
Yeah, you get a couple here.
Yeah, I'm throwing a creek chub. This is what I used to catch all the bass on when I was a kid. Yeah.
Catch that or you?
Yeah, I caught it. In the creek. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, there's a lot of bass right out about there. They have some big ones.
Yeah, this is a spot, it got me into fishing. I started fishing here when I was in like 5th grade. And me and my buddy came out like every single day, and at first we couldn't catch any bass. We just walked the stream and stuff. Eventually we were catching bass out of here. And my biggest is like almost 6 pounds.
Just got him at Lawanica, guys. This is insane.
It was.
There was some big ones here.
Yeah.
They have 2 or 3 pounders in it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they're in here. That was a long time ago though. Like before, the pond didn't look like this before. It used to be like not many weeds, and the reeds over here, that was all water.
The water's low, right?
Yeah, it looks it. Oh, I see something out there. Oh, is that my fish? That's my fish. That's my fish. Oh, there's someone looking at them. So it has come time. This creek chub that I caught, he's not feeling so good, and there's a massive snapping turtle right down there. So I'm gonna do him an honorable death. And get ready. We're gonna watch a snapping turtle feed in action. We're gonna gracefully put him on a stick and feed the hungry guy down here. The snapping turtle, at least earlier, I think he's right here. Oh yeah, you can see him. Yep. Ready? I've never done this before. I'm a little nervous. Where's a longer stick? That one's too long. Not unless we snap it. So here we have a new rig. Fishing trip turned into feeding snapping turtles. I am gonna catch a bass though. Look at the sunset. Beautiful. So we'll get this out of the way quick. Gotta present it nicely to the guy. Ready? You can see it. Oh. Here he comes. Let's get him a little closer. You got it. Oh. That was a cool way to use that bait fish, so. Now it's time to get back to the fishing, trying to land a fish before the sun goes down. I got a topwater frog and a little ultralight pop that I'm gonna use. Get ready for this.
There's one going for a bluegill right here.
A bass?
No, a big turtle.
Oh, for real?
turtle right in the bluegill nest. Here, go to my left here.
Oh, I see him, I see him, I see him. That's a big boy.
That is a good
There's another one down here. Looking for a bluegill.
one.
Wow. Especially now the pond is so shallow with all the mud. The snapping turtles love that. There used to be not as many in the pond. They're all down here. But now they're everywhere.
Here, I got your bait.
Oh, no kidding. Wow, thank you. A little bluegill. That'll be nice. Thank you. Perfect. Thanks.
No problem.
Now I'm gonna cast this one right out. Still got the hook on here, so we're ready to go. I'm just gonna... Oh no! Ah, he came off.
Did he come off?
Yeah, unfortunate, unfortunate. I still have faith. Oh, you see that? That's not a strike.
On the lure?
Yeah. Oh, that was cool. All right, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put a smaller popper on this thing and catch him on the ultralight. Yeah, it came right over that patch of weeds and then got the first strike of the day.
That's gotta be a bass.
Absolutely. Go, fish on, there we go. Ooh. Just landed the first fish of the trip, and that is first legit fish, I guess. Second fish of the trip, if you count the creek chub, which I definitely will count because I was inspired by my buddy Jacob down in Florida. He showed me the Florida fishing game the right way, and he took a picture of every single fish that he caught and truly appreciated it. And I've kind of taken that a little bit into my mindset moving forward, and I like the way that he does that. And big shout out to Jacob. So this spot right along this entire edge, that's where I'm going to finish off fishing for the day, and we might just be getting into the action right now. So I'm gonna set the camera down here and start casting. I just realized that the GoPro actually wasn't on for that little bass that hit. The cove of the pond, something out of the ordinary, a little bit harder to access. The bridge is just so fished. All right, come on. Oh, this used to be the hot spot. There are always big bass chilling in this little pocket for some reason. This is where my buddy Will Schwartz caught the first 3-pound bass I've ever seen. I ended up getting a little bass.
You did?
Yeah, like this big. Small on the top water though. You should check out this lure. I'll show you.
He hit the lure?
Yeah, this little top water. Let me see. It's a head-in.
Yeah, look at that. It looks like a little frog.
Exactly. And I think the simplicity of it, how small it is, you should try something like that out.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
What kind of, you have an ugly stick?
No, it's just
okay.
graphite.
Oh, but a Shakespeare, yeah.
Graphite. Yeah.
That's a nice little setup.
It's good for this little thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but yeah, it's ultralight like that. That's a nice lure.
Yeah, I think I got it down in Florida, but it's called head-in.
Oh, it's a head lure.
Yeah.
You could buy those at Cabela's.
Or maybe even Walmart has these too. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there you go. That's
Check them
a
out
nice
there.
one. And you just had one here.
Oh, over there in that little.
I thought you were
Yeah.
around in the water there.
It got back quick.
And one just surfaced here. They're all
No
over.
kidding. Yeah. I think this is the time of day too. The fish are all fired up. I'm tempted now to take my kayak in here, just launch it,
That'd be awesome.
because then you could. I think you know what happened now. All the fish are back there. There's a cove back there that's really good, and you can't access it.
Back there.
Not as many
Looks like
weeds.
There's some deep water with no weeds.
Yeah. So now all the fishermen, you used to be able to catch bass all in here, which you still can. But now my hunch is that they're spread out because the fish are still in here. They didn't go anywhere.
They didn't go anywhere.
No.
The water's low. They're still here.
Yeah. And the pond, I think the pond's filling up with like mud and sludge. If you walk over there, there's a little creek just like this that flows in, and that's where all the bait is too. So that's why they feed on those creek chub, because there are thousands in there. That's why the bass get big.
That way you got that creek chub?
Yeah. They're in here too. They're just, people fish here a lot now, so they're harder to catch. But if you go up that way, you can make a fun day out of it. Catching your own bait, bring a little bucket, and then throw them out in here. And I'm telling you, back in the day, it would just be throw it out there, instant bite. Like I even filmed a video like that using the little creek chub.
We'll see you.
Yeah, have a great night.
Good meeting you, man.
Great
Take
to meet
care.
you. See you later.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks for the tip.
Of course, anytime. And keep taking your grandkids out here. I'm sure they love it.
You'll see us out here. I'm sure I'll run into you again.
Awesome.
We love it here.
All right, see you, Joe.
Take care, man.
You too. Got him, fish on. There we go, another fish on the top water. That was the second one that hit. Woo, get him in there. Let's freaking go. Second hometown bass of the night on this little head and top water. Just telling Joe about it. It's a legendary lure. The simplicity of it catches bass, usually bigger than this, but we'll take that. So you can see it looks like a frog. It's got this little propeller on the back, so it pushes the water and the fish really will see more of the wake. Kind of like a whopper plopper, but more simplistic. And I gotta say, head and lures have always been my favorite for topwater, and just goes to show, proven time and time again to catch fish. What a great night out here. I'm gonna trek it out to that area right along the reeds, and then that's where we're gonna end the day off. Look at these flowers, beautiful. So this is gonna be the final spot of the day, this shoreline right here. Sun is really almost down. I think the reeds over there are gonna be good. The reeds on my right are gonna be good. Oh, I just had a fish. All right, I'm gonna take it risky. Wet wait a little bit out in here. This shoreline's good. I've never brought a kayak in here. It's always been one of my ideas. I just feel like it could be such a crazy experience to get back into the cove that you can't access unless you're like me back in the day, walking through the mud, wading. Uh-oh, my hat's gone. It's okay. We lost the hat. Wading waist deep in the middle over here. I swear we were right there, where my finger is, waist deep in mud. But that's besides the point, because I'm trying to catch the final fish of the day. Looking a little difficult. Got him, fish on. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. I was just getting ready to film a little outro, and the phone it just died right in time for landing that bass, and the GoPro shut off moments later, so I can't exactly explain the perfection of that timing, but I don't know if you'd call this, definitely not an end to this end, definitely not. See you guys in a totally different episode, more like a pause on the video, continuation of the Skye Life, and just felt so good to get back out here today. And all it took was one step outside, out the front door, into nature, and that's all I'm gonna say. Get outside, it'll make you feel a whole heck of a lot better. I was not having the greatest day until I did that, and I don't know what the mental block was, but I couldn't get myself to step outside, and I didn't know where I wanted to fish, and there's some sort of just like hesitation. But the second, literally, I swear, the second I walked outside, I felt like this amazing feeling. I just got happy. I started laughing. Just like all the problems in the world disappeared. And what really are the problems in the world? Because you have this, and this is a spot that got me into fishing. So until next time, keep on getting out there, keep on promoting the positivity of fishing, and keep on sending it no matter what, no matter where you are. In your backyard, thousands of miles from your backyard. It's all your backyard. Skye Life out.